Ever feel like some people just, they just glide through life, getting what they want, like it's nothing, like they've got this secret handshake with the universe or something?
Hmm.
Well, what if I told you their secret weapon isn't magic? It's negotiation.
Mm,
And get this, it's a skill anyone can master.
absolutely.
In this deep dive, we're going deep into Marta Skarbek's This Is Negotiation
Uh,
and this book. Seriously, eye-opening stuff. It's packed with those aha moments that'll change how you approach everything.
oh, I agree. And one of the things that Skarsek really drives home is that negotiation, it's not some modern invention.
Right.
It's hardwired into us. I mean, you see it woven into the very fabric of human history.
Okay, so we're talking way back in time.
Way back. I mean, we're talking ancient Babylon.
Okay, now you got to tell me more. Ancient Babylon. I'm picturing like gladiators and negotiations or something.
Think even further back. Picture this. Two merchants, right? Samir and Zaid. Both of them are vying for this huge contract from King Nebuchadnezzar himself. This is it. The career-making deal.
High stakes. So
Yeah.
what happened?
Well, Samir, he's all about the facts and figures.
Makes sense. Got to impress the king.
Exactly. So think meticulously crafted scrolls, impressive charts. He's going all out.
Sounds like he came to win. So what does Zayd do? Did he whip out an even bigger scroll? Dazzle him with more data?
Not even close. And this is the fascinating part. Zayd understood something crucial about human nature, something that still rings true today. People connect with emotion.
Ooh, smart.
Right. So instead of bombarding the king with even more data, he goes a different route. He focuses on the king's ambitions, his dreams. He praises his vision, paints this vivid picture of a palace that wouldn't just be grand, it would be legendary, a symbol of the king's legacy.
Wow. Talk about a power move. So who ultimately won that contract?
Zayd, hands down. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes winning hearts, it's just as important, if not more so, than winning arguments. Date is crucial, don't get me wrong, but connecting with the other person's desires, their dreams,
That's what seals the deal.
exactly, a deal that truly lasts.
I'm already seeing how this applies to my life. We're just getting started. But let's be real. Not every negotiation is about building palaces for kings. Sometimes it feels like we're stuck in history's longest-running argument.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And Skarsek, she dives right into that. She brings us to another historical turning point, ancient Greece,
Okay.
the Peloponnesian War.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we're talking epic battles. Athens versus Sparta.
Decades of conflict, talk about a stalemate. But even in the midst of all that animosity, guess what played a pivotal role?
Let me guess. They took a time out from battling to brush up on their negotiation skills.
Exactly. The Peace of Nicias, signed in 421 BCE. It might have been temporary, but it proves even sworn enemies can find common ground.
Wow, if Spartans and Athenians can figure out a truce, there's hope for the rest of us.
Absolutely. And it highlights that negotiation is not about erasing differences. It's about finding a way to coexist, to move forward, even when the stakes are unbelievably high.
Okay, ancient Greece, epic battles, truces hammered out. Fascinating stuff, but can we bring this into the 21st century? Make it real for us.
Absolutely. And Skarsek does just that. She brings us the story. It's inspiring and incredibly relevant. I mean, anyone who's ever felt underestimated needs to hear this. Enter Lik Walesa, the electrician who sparked a revolution.
Now, this is a story that gets me fired up. Talk about an unlikely hero. Walesa, an electrician, no fancy degrees in negotiation, and he leads the 1970 Gdansk shipyard strike.
Right. Pivotal moment in Poland's history.
And it just shows you true negotiation power. It doesn't come from some fancy degree. It's about understanding people, what they need, what they want, and have that courage to stand up for them.
100%.
So how did Walesa, this electrician, how did he transform himself into this negotiation powerhouse?
He had this uncanny ability to connect with the workers. And I mean deeply. He didn't just hear their frustrations. He felt them, understood their hopes, their
It's
dreams.
not it.
And he could articulate all of that in a way that resonated, not just within those shipyard walls, but across the nation.
So empathy, that was a major factor in his success.
It was the foundation. It allowed him to build that trust, unite people, a group of individuals into this unstoppable force for change. But it wasn't just about tapping into emotions, though that was key. Well, Lisa, he was strategic too.
Okay, so let's talk strategy. What were some of his power moves?
He was brilliant, really. He framed the strike not just as some labor dispute. This was a fight for fundamental human rights.
That's smart.
Right. It resonated way beyond the shipyard. People from all walks of life, they were drawn to this, and it put this immense pressure on the government to come to the table to negotiate.
It's like he understood the power of a shared story, a bigger purpose. And Skarsek, she also talks about how crystal clear he was about their demands too, right?
Yes. Clarity. So key in any negotiation. Doesn't matter if you're asking for that raise or, leading a revolution. The strikers, they presented a united front. They knew exactly what they wanted. Better wages, improved conditions, and that right to form independent trade unions.
No room for misinterpretation there.
Exactly. It was smart.
It sounds like Walesa was also a master of public pressure. This wasn't just happening within the shipyard walls.
Absolutely not. This became an international sensation. The whole world was watching. And that kind of external pressure, it can change the game in any negotiation.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
Go
So
on.
if we want to channel our inner Leech Walesa, what's the key takeaway here?
His story, it reminds us that effective negotiation, it's not about memorizing tactics from some textbook. It's about understanding that human element, right? It's about building trust, communicating clearly, and leveraging every single resource you've got to achieve your goals. If an electrician from Poland can lead a revolution.
Imagine what the rest of us can do. I love that. It's giving me chills and motivation all at the same time. But, okay, let's get practical. If we want to level up our own negotiation game, where do we even start?
That's where Skarsek's book, it becomes pure gold. She breaks down some core negotiation strategies, and they're surprisingly universal, whether you're, doing a multi-million-dollar deal or just figuring out who does the dishes tonight.
All right, let's have it. Give us the inside scoop.
One of the most powerful tools she introduces is this concept of BTNA.
BTNA. Sounds kind of like a fierce warrior princess from, ancient history.
It kind of is a secret weapon. BTNA stands for Best Alternative to a Negotiated Agreement. So think of it as your plan B, your safety net.
Okay, I like it. I'm intrigued. Give me an example, though.
Okay, so imagine you're buying a used car. You found the one. But the price, a little steep. Your BTNA might be that other dealership across town. Similar car, lower price. Knowing you've got that option, that gives you the power to walk away if the seller won't budge.
Makes sense.
Right. So what are your BATNAs in your daily negotiations? That's what I want to know.
Okay, that's a game changer. I'm already mentally mapping out my BTNAs for, every possible scenario I can think of. What else have you got?
Skarsek also stresses this. The importance of, moving beyond rigid positions, generating options.
So it's about being flexible,
Yeah.
thinking outside the box.
Exactly. It's about ditching that my way or the highway mentality and instead approaching negotiations as this collaborative problem-solving session. You want to find solutions that work for both parties, not just bulldoze your way through.
And this is where empathy makes a comeback, right?
You got it. When you understand the other person's needs, their concerns, you start to see possibilities you might have missed before. It's like unlocking that secret level in a video game. Suddenly new paths, new solutions, they just appear.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all fits together, but let's be honest. Sometimes negotiations, they feel less like a video game and more like an emotional roller coaster. How do we handle that human element, those gut reactions,
That's where Skarsek, she goes deep, really deep into the psychology of negotiation. She talks about how these common biases, we all have them, they can cloud our judgment, lead us to, let's just say, less than ideal outcomes.
Okay, so what are some of these sneaky biases we need to watch out for?
Ever heard of anchoring bias? It's like dropping a heavy anchor right in the middle of a negotiation. It sets that starting point. And it can be so tough to drag the conversation away from that initial impression.
So that first offer, that initial price tag, it's not just a number. It's like this psychological anchor, trying to keep the whole negotiation tethered to a certain range.
Exactly. Tricky, right? That's why, you got to do your homework.
Yeah.
Come to the table prepared. Know your worth. Don't let some unrealistic opening offer throw you off your game.
So knowledge is power. Okay, give me another one of these bias bombshells. What else do we need to watch out for?
Let's talk about the sunk cost fallacy.
Ooh.
This one's a real negotiation killer. It's that feeling you get when, you've already invested so much time, energy, maybe even money into something, and you keep pushing forward even when it's clear.
It's a disaster.
It's a sinking ship.
Yes. Oh, I've been there. It's like refusing to leave the movie theater even when the movie's terrible.
Yeah.
Just because you already paid for the ticket.
Exactly. And in negotiation, this might look like, clinging to a deal that's clearly not in your best interest, but you've already put in so much effort.
It's so hard to walk away sometimes.
It is. It is. So how do we dodge these mental traps? How do we become more aware of our own biases, when we're in it?
Yeah, when you're in the heat of the moment.
Right. Self-awareness is key. Just knowing that these biases exist, that's huge. It's a huge step in the right direction. And this is where emotional intelligence, it comes in again.
All right, emotional intelligence backed by popular demand.
So we've talked about empathy, but what other skills fall under that umbrella? So emotional intelligence in negotiation, it's about being able to, read the room. But it's more than that. It's about reading the other person. Recognizing, okay, what are your own emotional triggers? How can I manage those gut reactions? And then being able to accurately interpret the emotions of the person across the table from you.
Right, because they're giving you cues too.
All the time. Are they getting defensive? Are they excited? Being able to decode those signals,
Game changer.
it can make all the difference.
So it's like you're saying emotional intelligence, it gives us that superpower to hit pause, analyze the situation, and then respond strategically, not just react impulsively.
Yes. It's about mastering those, those crucial seconds between feeling and reacting. And those can make or break a negotiation.
So true. Okay, so we've got the historical inspiration, the practical techniques, the psychology. Can we tie it all together? Give us a real-world scenario, like for instance.
Well, Skarbek, she dives into so many fascinating case studies, but one that I always think about is the Airbus engine deal.
Okay, now those are high stakes. We're talking big leagues.
Yeah.
Take us inside that negotiation room. What went down?
So picture this. Airbus, the European aircraft manufacturer, they're developing their brand new A350 XWB aircraft.
Okay.
They need engines, powerful engines.
Makes sense.
So they're negotiating with two giants, Rolls-Royce and Pratt & Whitney.
Oh, wow. Talk about a power play.
Uh,
Okay, so they've got options.
Yeah.
Having those multiple offers on the table, that's got to be a strong position to be in, right?
You bet. It all goes back to BATNA. Airbus, they brilliantly leverage the competition, playing the suppliers against each other, but always keeping those relationships strong.
It's a delicate dance.
It is. It is. But they did it, secured the best possible terms for themselves.
So they found that sweet spot, being assertive, but also building rapport. Okay, so what's the takeaway for those of us who aren't, building airplanes?
It's a good reminder that, even when the stakes are high, those relationships, they still matter. So focus on those win-win scenarios. Be creative.
Yeah.
And never underestimate the power of a good BATNA.
I love it. And what about those everyday negotiations?
Yes.
The ones that don't involve these multi-million-dollar contracts. Skarbek, she argues that these skills, they're just as relevant in our personal lives, right?
Oh, 100%. Think about it. You're negotiating all the time.
I know, it's true.
Whether you realize it or not, asking your boss for a raise,
Yep.
deciding on dinner plans with your partner,
Oh, that's a big one.
figuring out bedtime with the kids,
Every single day.
it's all negotiation.
It's so true. So no more autopilot. Every interaction, it's a chance to flex those negotiation muscles.
Exactly. And remember, this isn't about, being manipulative or always getting your way. It's about communicating effectively. It's about understanding needs and finding those solutions that work for everyone involved.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive into the fascinating world of negotiation, what's the one key message that we should carry with us?
For me, it's this. The most powerful tool in any negotiation, it's not some tactic, it's a mindset. It's about approaching every interaction with that curiosity, that empathy, and that genuine desire to find that common ground. And just remember, negotiation, it's not about winning or losing. It's about collaborating, right? To create something better than what existed before.
It's much better than a secret handshake. Marta Skarbek's This Is Negotiation, guys, it's a game changer, packed with even more insights and real-world examples that will have you, navigating every negotiation with confidence. Go check it out. Till next time, keep those BATNAs strong and those negotiation skills sharp.